All right. Hey, how's it, everybody? It is right around 5 p.m. West Coast time. I'm going to call it 2 p.m. Hawaii time, 8 p.m. on that there East Coast, and 7 p.m. for our Central Time folk. I'm Mad Statter today, and this is Chatter with Statter. Hey, Ms. Kayla365, good to see you. First time chatter, glad you're here. Terry in Scotland coming in with a raid for viewers. Thank you so much, Terry. Looks like we've got Derby Startup in the house. Aloha to Derby Startup. Bainy Bo also in the house, and Shock, of course, here. Welcoming everyone in with both the schedule and also saying aloha to Ms. Kayla. And of course, we've got Pinnell coming in on that there raid and saying aloha to Ashes, Dusty, and Leo. Terry, thank you so much for those 1,000 biddies. All right, let's see here. Ooh, my feetsies are kind of sore today. I went on a walk and I was not wearing the right shoes. Let's see here. Rick in the house as well saying hello, or no, saying how's it? Good deal. Good to see you, Rick. I'm assuming Darlene is probably somewhere close behind, but she might be on the phone with her daughter because sometimes that happens. Okie dokie here. Let's see here. All right. Well, it looks like we've got some folks in the house, so we might as well get the party started. Let's do it. All right, Rick has an eye on Darlene, and she's lurking somewheres. So, we know she's accounted for. She is safe and accounted for. Let's see here. All right, so, don't have a lot to talk about today, so we're going to be depending upon all y'all to bring up some chattery topics. But I can tell you this. As per our usual, we're going to talk a little bit about food. In fact, why don't we just talk about food for a minute? I was at the greengrocer today, and I feel confident after going to my greengrocer. That's my produce mart. That's where I get all my vegetables. I feel confident in one thing. I don't know a lot of things, and I know even less about growing onions. Growing onions, I've tried. It never works. I really don't understand. Do they grow below ground? Do they grow above ground? Are they kind of half buried? Are they? I don't really understand how onions grow. So I cannot tell you what it takes to make a successful onion crop, but I can tell you right now with absolute certainty that there was a really good onion crop in Walla Walla this year. I don't know if you're familiar with Walla Walla Sweets. It's one of the famous sweet onions. We've got Maui Sweets. You've got the Georgia Vidalias. We've got a bunch of different sweet onions that are vying for the top sweet onion crown. Now, I don't know how this tastes, okay? Yeah, onions are a bulb. Just turn on the electricity. Exactly. And Trail Dust, good to see you. Trail Dust, does Teeter know how an onion grows? Does Teeter have the wisdom of the farm? Go talk to Teeter and see if you can find an answer. Because I don't really understand growing underground, halfway up, on the top. I don't know, but this is what I do know. Y'all. That onion weighed 2.5 pounds. This is the... All right, here. We got to... All right, that onion right there. That onion. Do you see that onion? That's a big onion. It weighed 2.5 pounds. 2.5 pounds is that onion. And it really wasn't the only onion in the batch that got that big. So, does the onion taste good? I don't know. I haven't eaten it. I didn't even buy it. But I can tell you this right now. They had a good crop. I don't know if it's a good tasting crop, but it's a big crop. Wow, in a 10 bag, you only get 10-pound bag, you'd only get 4 onions. Right, exactly, Rick. I mean, seriously, I usually buy a bag of 3-pound bag of onions, and it's like full of littler onions, and it's full. That would be the whole flipping bag. And Pinnell, at least onions don't make me hungry. Yes, unless we talk about like onion rings or something. And I did actually think about how wonderful the onion rings must be with onions like that. I mean, talk about super huge. But for real, y'all, I know that this is an asinine topic, but we talk about a lot of asinine things. And I was dumbfounded, gobsmacked. I was taken aback by how big that flippin' onion is. Have you ever seen an onion that big. Is that what they use for blooming onions? Well, no, I don't know if they use Walla Walla sweets or any kind of sweet onion for the famous bloomin' onions. I have no idea. But yeah, the bloomin' onions usually are kind of this big now that I think about it. So they must have some like steroid brand of onion that the bloomin' onion from Outback Steakhouse gets. All I know is biggest onion I've ever seen, and I know, and now, so, right, okay, see, but Trail Dust, that doesn't, Trail Dust says, I know Trail Dust, you try to be helpful, but this is where I get confused. The onion bulbs form at ground level. I don't really know what to do with that, man. Like, I know that onions grow in the dirt, i.e. ground level. But I'm confused about what you mean by that. And, okay, so Shag is saying it means the green bits stick up and the bulby bits do not. Okay, because I mean, you know, don't they all grow at ground level? I mean, unless they're growing in trees, don't they all grow at ground level? See, and for some reason, I had it in my mind, and I have a hair in my mouth, and that part is right. I have it in my mind that, okay, and potatoes grow below ground level, right? But see, this is, I guess, where my confusion is. Check out an onion tree, exactly. Okay, so, but this is where my confusion is, right? So, and I have the same confusion about garlic, and I have the same confusion about shallots, and I have the same confusion about leeks. So these are all, and they're all, you know, basically, I mean, not the same. They're not the same thing, but they all are related. Anyway, I don't have a milkman yet, Bainy Bo. They upped their prices to $20 a week to be a subscription to the milkman. So milkman, or Bainy Bo, a milkman himself, is asking, how's my milkman? I don't have one yet. Pretty much because I'm super poor right now, because I have a lot of bills that I didn't plan for, i.e. medical bills from a stroke. I got my MRI bill, only $331, so that was a steal, I guess. I don't know. And let's see here. So they are on the ground where you can see them. Okay, see, that's where I was confused. So this is where we're talking about onions again, y'all, because I know that I just scattered to 87 places. So like the onion. Okay, this is the onion bulb, right? Okay, naked sock puppets go gardening. Okay, this is the bulb, this is the green onion, and this is the ground, right? Okay, so this is how Trail Dust is saying it, but in my mind, it's more like this. Do you see how like half of the onion is above the ground and the other half of the onion is below the ground? That's how I thought they grew, like half in and half out. And so and Derby Startup is saying they are on the ground where you can see them. So that makes me think that they're like half in the ground and half out of the ground. Is that it? And then and let's see here. Yes, just down to the Band-Aid, and I need to change it. It's pretty gross right now. And so Trail Dust says the rooty things on the bottom of the onion are roots. I knew that part. They grow that close to the ground. Trail Dust. I'm giving you a snap of my fingers. Okay, Trail Dust. Now, Goofle says onions grow both above and below ground as they are botanically classified as they're classified as a bulb, which is different, which are modified stems rather than roots. And Bainy Bo, I know you don't get medical bills. And so you know how your onions grow a green shoot bulb below ground shoot up, but Shock says that. Oh, no, wait, Shock, comma, Rick and Derby Startup say that it's both. It's above and below. And now Terry's like, no, all the onion is above the ground, only the roots are in the ground. You guys are arguing. You guys aren't even agreeing. You're telling me reality, and you're not even agreeing on reality. So Terry says only the roots are in the ground. Derby Startup's like, your mind is right compared to onions my mom and I grew. And then Shock saying, you might see some of the bulb above, but not much. And Terry's saying some of the onion is in the ground. Terry is messing with me. Of course, I should have known that. But I don't think Derby Startup is messing with me. And I happen to know who Derby Startup is in real life. And I happen to know that first off, I happen to know that his mom grows everything. And so if he's seen it in his mom's garden, first off, he has seen it in his mom's garden because she grows everything. And she grows everything well. So... And you're saying that carrots stick up more than onions do? I've grown carrots and I've never had them stick up above the ground. Maybe I picked them too early. Okay. Trail dust. The photos in garden catalogs show onion bulbs half in and half out. That's why I was thinking that. And so Derby Startup saying the top is clean and the bottom is dirty. Okay, so they do. So they are like this. This is a piss poor description, but I think y'all might know what I'm talking about. And so Trail Dust is saying, yeah, in the garden catalogs, whereas Shock is saying, nuh-uh, man, half no way. And Shock saying, mine are stuck up about 3/4 of an inch. Well, I wonder if A, you're growing them wrong, Shock. I mean, because the garden catalog, I would think would be right. Or B, I wonder if different varieties do different stuffuses, maybe? I mean, no, Chuck, I was really just saying that to be a dick. Because here's what I know. If you're getting an onion, you're more successful at growing onions than I've ever been. So obviously you're not doing it as wrong as I was doing it. I was wronger, okay? All the carrot is above ground and they walk around late at night. No, Terry, in Scotland, you're totally wrong about that. Carrots, I learned this on That 70s Show. Kelso, he had to write an essay in That 70s Show about what his dad does for a living, and he couldn't understand what his dad did for a living, so he just said his dad was a farmer, and in that essay, Kelso said that every morning they go out and pick carrots from the trees. So I know that carrots grow in trees, okay? That's where I got my info, and I know it's right. All right? And the naked sock puppets need a bit more training. Exactly. The naked sock puppets are not gardeners. Are you a gardener? No, wait. Are you a gardener? No, I'm not a gardener. I mean, I try. I used to grow weed. Me too. I don't know how to grow onions, though. Me either. Naked Sock Puppet Theater. Now, on Twitch and YouTube. Okay. That was a little bit silly. Yeah, okay, so the onion mystery has been solved. Nobody knows how onion grows. That's the answer that I'm taking away from this conversation. Nobody knows how an onion grows. A lot of Goofle onion images show half growing above the ground. Okay, so Darlene and Rick are experts here. I don't know if they're experts at growing onions, but yes, they are experts in the gardening realm. I haven't really ever heard about Darlene talking about growing onions. Rick, you're going to have to speak for Darlene here. Does Darlene grow onions? Could Darlene grow onions? And if so, what kind? The only kind of onions that I'd probably be successful at growing are the walking Egyptian onions, or the Egyptian walking onions, or whatever they're called, because they're just green onions, and then they grow backwards. They're like stalks, and then they get the onion bulb at the top, and it gets heavy, and then they fall down and flake roots, and then it grows another stalk, and then it gets heavy, and it blows down. And Rick, you fail at growing onions too. See, I don't know what it is about onions, but onions are not easy to grow, in my opinion. Shock, on the other hand, is just like, I got onions. I know how to grow an onion. So she's better at onions than we are, I guess. And let's see here. Maybe it makes a difference if you plant a seed and wait 2 years instead of buying baby onion plants and replanting them. I don't know if I've ever seen onion seeds. I mean, okay, let's rewind. I do understand how plants work. Okay, I get it. But reading what Derby Startup just said, it totally just occurred to me. I don't know if I've ever even seen onion seeds. I have seen the little onion starts at the nursery, grocery, the plant stores, but onion seeds, and then onion seeds take 2 years. So many things I'm confused about. One thing I am not confused about, though, Andre in the house. Thank you so much for throwing down all of those gift subscriptions. And I'm going to go out on a limb here, Andre, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Thank you, by the way, for the 400 biddies. Have you ever grown an onion, and are you successful at growing the onions? Do you know how to grow an onion? Because we're talking about onions here, and we're trying to make people cry. Trail dust. We're trying to make you cry. Not really, but speaking of crying, y'all, I did something that I make fun of people doing, and I never have done it before, and I will never make fun of them again for doing it. I was chopping up a chili pepper the other day, and I touched my nose. You can quote me on that. Oh, you never grew an onion? Yeah, no, me either, Andre. And so this conversation is all about how onions grow. Above ground, below ground, halfway out. We're just still not sure. Onions are above ground when they grow. My grandma grows vegetables in her garden. We are not going to become onion snobs, are we? Well, we might. Back in the day, many years ago, I did a whole live stream about the difference between green onions, spring onions, and other onions that I can't remember, but there was a bunch of different kinds that I did a little thing on because they are different. And Darlene had to do dishes, one of your least favorite jobs. So, Darlene, right now, we're talking about onions because basically I saw the craziest onions today. They were huge. They were Walla Walla sweets. One onion was 2.5 pounds. They were bigger than any onion I've ever seen in my life. And it got me to thinking how I don't know how to grow an onion. And so I asked Rick if you'd ever grown an onion, and he said no. And so I'm going to ask you now, Darlene, how many times have you tried? And how many times have you failed? Because I've tried twice, and I've failed miserably twice. Didn't even get a green onion out of it. Not even one little spoke of a spokiness. It was problematic. And so, I know that you are a gardener. I know that you're a very successful gardener. But I'm just wondering, did the onions torture you? How many times did you attempt the onions? And how many times did you fail at them? And what do you think made you fail at them? Or have you never tried? Because you're smart. These are the important topics of the day. Onions, as it turns out. So, and I don't mean to put you on the spot, Darlene. But I do know that you are a very successful gardener. And, well, if anybody should be able to grow an onion, it would be you, Darlene. And onions make you cry, even if you do not cut them. Yes, exactly. They do these days seem to make me cry. But I'll tell you, man, touching my nose after I cut that chili pepper, I was in agony for hours afterwards. And you heard in the background about onion. Yes, we've tried. Gotten small onions, but nothing like in the stores. It does depend on weather conditions, though, and the variety of onion growing. Okay. Now, Terry in Scotland coming in, hopefully with real words, not just funny words, which are also real, but not true. Most of the onion bulb grows above ground as it matures, which is which is a completely normal part of the plant's development. Onions naturally push toward the surface during the bulb formation, and it's common for the widest part of the bulb to sit just above the soil line or even be mostly exposed. Okay. And so, Derby Startup, they like sweeter soil and more sun than we have, so we must adjust our expectations. Gotcha. I self-peppered myself. Not nice. Yes, exactly, dude. It was problematic. And the funny thing is, no, this wasn't funny at all. So when I pepper sprayed my own self, basically, I was like, oh, I have pepper oil on my nose. Let's wash it off. All I did by washing it off was spread it further around on my face. That was not a good idea. And Andre, what a good question. Sweeter soil is more alkaline. Acidic soil is not sweet. I've never heard of it. Never heard it called bitter, but I guess one's sweet, the other's bitter. But they don't like acidic soil. They like more alkaline soil. And the Pacific Northwest, the Puget Sound region is notoriously acidic. Our soil is very acidic. It's why the pine trees make it acidic. The eastern part of the state has a completely different set of plants. Their soil is not as acidic as over on the west side of the mountains. But the fir trees, the cedar trees, their tree litter is very acidic. And consequently, things like rhododendrons, which love acidic soil, things like azaleas, which love acidic soil, they do really well here. Rhododendrons grow in the wild here. They're native to here. So sweeter soil is more alkaline. In fact, if you've ever heard of or seen the hydrangea plant, sometimes their flowers can be really blue. Sometimes their flowers can be really pink. And sometimes their flowers are sort of a mixture of the two. And you can, the severity of the blueness or the pinkness does depend on the variety, but it also depends on the soil. You can change the color of your hydrangea flower, your hydrangea bloom. If you make your soil more acidic, it goes blue. If you make your soil more alkaline, it goes towards the pink. So you can manipulate the color of your hydrangea based on the pH of your soil. And as Derby Startup was saying, onions don't like acidic soil. So if you're going to grow onions here in your garden, you're going to have to do some soil amendments to make it less acidic and more alkaline. Like adding a lime would make it more alkaline. Seattle is acidic, so not the Seattle freeze. It's the Seattle acid erosion. Exactly. And let's see here. And you've had a great luck growing herbs and huge chives. You have 2 big bushes of chives. Yum. And if you let them flower and the flowers dry almost completely, snip the flower tops into jars. You have tiny little black seeds to grow more chives or share the seeds. And Pinnell, I was very happy that I did not rub my eye. And so Terry coming in with probably a better explanation than what I said. Sweet soil is a gardening term primarily used to describe alkaline soil which has a pH level above 7.0. While some modern contexts refer to it as living soil, rich in organic matter, traditional horticultural usage defines it by its high pH and elevated levels of calcium, sodium, and magnesium. There you go. And Our acidic rain also washes the lime out of our soil. Well, that's true. You have to sort of keep amending, as it were. And let's see here. Your lettuce is going crazy right now. You can't eat it fast enough. Can't eat before it bolts. Yeah, I've been growing some chard, and I'm just like waiting for it to bolt because we've had some hot weather. But luckily, it's only been a little bit hot, and then it goes back down. So far, my chard has not decided to get bitter and bolt. So that's a good thing. And Bacola T, greetings from Juneau, all windblown from a whale watch with grandkids. Spotted several humpbacks and their flukes. Yeah, Bacola T, I'm starting to think that you actually live in Alaska. On the water in Alaska. I think you spent more time in the water off of Alaska than you have in Hawaii this past year. I swear. And let's see here. Does Alaska have giant summer onions? You know what? I don't know if they've got onions up in Alaska. I can only assume they must. But I wouldn't be surprised if they're giant, because with their super long growing day, they have like their fruits and vegetables can get so big because it's just like under practical 24-hour sunlight almost. And so I wonder if those Walla Walla sweets came from Alaska. They were so flippin' big. I don't think that's allowed. I think they have to be grown near Walla Walla to be a Walla Walla sweet, but I could be making that up. And you have Swiss chard growing too. I have dinosaur chard, which I guess another name for it is Italian chard. I haven't tried the Swiss chard yet, that I know of. I've only tried the dinosaur, and it's pretty good. So I've been buying it lately, and then I decided to grow some because you need more greens. I need more vegetables in my life, so I might as well eat more vegetables that I grow. And nope, first time in Alaska. Oh, that's right. It was last year you spent so much time in Alaska. That's right. All right. Time, it all blurs together. Who is it that did that song? I think, Steve Miller? Time keeps on slipping, slipping, slipping into the future. I'm going to clip that and make sure that doesn't escape the internets. That will never, no, I should not have sung that because that was out of tune. And let's see here. Yes, exactly, Andre. Bacola T is the new Carmen Sandiego. We all say, where in the world is she? Exactly. And Darlene, I always get a good crop of squashes, enough to store the basement through the winter, butternut, acorn, and spaghetti sauce. Also have zucchini growing. And Pinnell, your beet plant grows well. I will let you have the beet plant. I don't like beets. I don't mind beet greens, but beets themselves, not a big fan. Except for in borscht. I don't know what it is. I love that stupid soup. And I hate beets. But I love the beet soup. It makes no sense. And your okra is not thriving, and your habut, says Shock. Okra kind of freaks me out, you guys. It's both fuzzy and slimy. How can something be fuzzy and slimy at the same time? How? And Andre, good question. Zucchini's only in the US, right? Well, let's ask Pinnell. Pinnell, do they call zucchinis in Canada, or do they call them courgettes? I know they call them courgettes in England, and I can only assume they call them courgettes in France. In fact, I'm going to go out on a limb and say all over Europe they call them courgettes. But do they call them courgettes or zucchinis in the Canadas? Slimy vegetables, exactly. And you will be pleased to hear that your is on the mend after yesterday's bladder injection. Yesterday was painful. Very good, Terry, very good. I'm glad to hear that you're still going through with it. How many more I remember it was like what is it, 2 years you have to keep going back for the treatments. How long, like I just said, time keeps on slipping into the future. How long have you been doing these treatments? I know that you've still got a little bit, but like, are you like almost halfway through the treatments now? Or not? Okay, Pinnell says they call them zucchini. So Andre, I'm gonna say no. Much of North America calls them zucchini. I do know that in Mexico they call them something different, and it starts with a C. It's like a C-A-B word. I don't remember what the word is, but I literally just the other day saw a recipe online for zucchini enchiladas. Yeah, calabasa. There we go. They call them calabasas there. And I saw this recipe for calabaza enchiladas, and I'm like, what is that? And then I saw them making it. I was like, oh my God, that sounds delicious. I want them now. And so, yeah. We cannot say in all of North America they call them zucchini, but in 2/3 of North America they do. And so, yes, zucchini is the most common term in the U.S. However, it is also frequently referred to as Italian squash, or simply summer squash, which is the broader character it belongs to. By contrast, the name courgette, which is French for little gourd, is used in the UK, Ireland, France, and New Zealand. Exactly, but Canada also uses zucchini. So it's not just the United States of America, it's parts of North America. And, oh no, wait, what did Bucola T say? Oh no. Biggest thing you saw today was Zucker Twerp's obscenely huge yacht taking up space in a local harbor. There's two ginormous vessels carrying his toys, including, there's a second ginormous vessel carrying his toys, including a helicopter. No one needs to be that rich. I have so many things that I'm going to say, and I'm not going to say any of them. Nobody needs to be that rich. Nobody needs to be that rich. And Terry, it'll be in a year in August. Okay, I had a feeling it was close to that year. And yeah, exactly, Pinnell. How awful. Let's see here. Terry says, I asked Nurse Cunningham what happens after 3 years. She said I would get one final inspection and a CT scan, then once a year. Okay. And then Andre's saying, yeah, zucchini, where there are Italian immigrants, I guess. Okay. Yeah, it's zucchini where there were Italian immigrants, I guess. All right, that makes sense. And, oh no, Mama Sean, good to see you. Bad to hear what you have to say. Aloha all, says Mama Sean came home from her cruise and got a horrible case of pneumonia. That sucks, Mama Sean, and I'm glad that you are aware that it's pneumonia, and I'm going to assume that you're taking care of it. Pneumonia was the sickest I've ever been in my entire life, and the most scary illness I've ever had. Illness, not a stroke. Stroke was the scariest, but as far as illnesses go, take care of yourself. Make sure it clears up. If you think you're getting better, but then you get worse, like, dude, don't mess with that. I'm so sorry that you got pneumonia. On the bright side, I'm glad you were home when you got it, as opposed to on a cruise. What an awful situation that would be. You paid all this money to just be sick, that would be awful. But yeah, oh my God, I'm so sorry to hear that you got so flippin' sick. And Andre, I kind of like your attitude, exactly. And if they need to be that rich, they need to keep it to themselves. Kinda, yeah. No need for flaunt. And let's see here. And yeah, so yeah, Darlene, yeah, it is ongoing, just like skin cancer. You have to go yearly for screenings. Well, I'm not surprised, Darlene. You were a redhead. And you've had a couple smaller suspicious spots burned out. Yep, exactly. And Terry, I had viral pneumonia once. It was scary. Yes. Pinnell coming in. I couldn't move out of bed for days when I had pneumonia. Yep, exactly. I actually kind of credit my dog for saving my life when I had pneumonia. because it was such a slow decline into not being able to breathe that I really didn't notice it. And finally one day she was a disabled dog, so I had to carry her to and hold her every time she went to the bathroom. You know, I'd have to carry her outside, hold her, carry her back inside. So I would do this multiple times a day. I had been doing it for years with no problem. And one day when I was coming up my stairs, all 2.5 of them, I almost passed out from being on. I couldn't breathe. And I had to put her down, catch my breath. And it was just like, this is not normal. Normally I'm able to carry her up. But I honestly wonder how much longer it would have taken me to notice you're not breathing before I would have noticed I'm not breathing. And so in a way she saved my life. And let's see here. So sick I didn't even want to go to the ER, but finally started to feel almost human again. Okay, well, did you go to the ER? Have you gotten something for it? Because if you start to feel better and then you start feeling back worse again, I normally don't try to tell people how to live their lives, but I'm going to tell you right now, if that's what happens, you need to go to a doctor. I am telling you how to live your life. If you start feeling better and then you start feeling worse again, that's exactly what happened to me. That's why I didn't go to the doctor for so long. Go to the doctor if you start feeling crummy again, okay? Okay. And Trail Dust, no, Lono does not have any song about onions, but he does have a brand new song that came out just a few days ago. He actually posted a brand new song on his YouTube page, and so if you haven't seen it yet, we are going to be watching it here today. It's called Fly Children Fly. And it's not on any of his Lono albums, but it is on his Eevee Band albums. I don't remember which one of the Eevee albums it's off of. I'll do some research and be able to tell you that later on. But you can buy all the Eevee albums off of lonomusic.com. And it is a new video that he just released this week. I want to say 2 or 3 days ago. So there you go. And Pinnell, I had a doctor visit me. He said I should have gone to the ER. Yeah, exactly. I'm the last person to want to go to the ER. I mean, everybody is the last person who wants to go to ER, right? There is some time that you just need to buck it up and go to this stupid, important, invaluable emergency room. Absolutely. And indeedly do, we are 1 minute past our Lono listening break time. So let's listen to some Lono. This Lono tune is like 7 minutes long, y'all. So get ready to watch some Lono, listen to some Lono. And if you have to go to the bathroom, well, turn it up. You'll have plenty of time to do that and then come back. All right, let's do it.
Children, you know you can pick your feet off the ground and fly away. This person is confused. He needs love from above. Fly, children, fly. No sorrow will come your way. In your heart every day. Into the light You were born, mother's love to keep you warm. Fly, children, fly. Fly, children, you must be free. Is there truth in what you see? Through the darkness you will be led. There is light up ahead. Fly, children, fly. Darkness has a light, what you cannot see. There where you will find what you need to be, what lies in your heart, right there from the start. Look into his eyes, you will feel his pain. Break those awful chains and free yourself again. Fly, children, fly. Your future is in your hands. Do not take abuse again. Run if you must, where children play. Running from the night into the day. Fly, children, fly. Darkness has a light, what you cannot see. There where you will find what you need to be, what lies in your heart, right there from the start. Look into his eyes, you will feel his pain. Break those awful chains and free yourself again. Fly, children, fly. Fly, children, you know you can. Pick your feet off the ground and fly away. This person is confused. He needs love from above. Fly, children, fly. Fly, children, fly. Fly, children, fly. Fly, children, fly.
Good point, Andre. Yes, exactly. Dentists. I suppose that's true. You could, if you were into that kind of thing, someone might have perfect teeth if their dentist just dressed in latex. Andre was commenting, it sounded like a dominatrix with a medical degree to my dentist visits are a double whammy. They hurt, and you have to pay them a lot of money for the treatment, for the painful treatment. Anyway, all right, so, okay, there we go. We talked about food. I don't know what else to talk about, but I do have a question, you guys, and this actually is a legit question, and I suppose I could have run this through Google Lens, but instead I would rather ask people who might actually know, Hopefully you don't know from experience, but if you do know from experience, then I absolutely will believe you. Is this poison oak? And if you're like, oh, dude, I totally can't see it close enough. Is this poison oak? So I'm asking the hive mind here. I don't really know. I know that we've got poison oak around here. I've never seen it to my knowledge. Although this might be it. I've never seen poison ivy, so I really don't know what that looks like. But they do seem to have leaves of 3, and I know leaves of 3, let them be, is a thing. And so, does anybody know, is this poison oak? This is how it's growing, and then this is a close-up. Derby Startup says, I don't think so. Rick, we've already proved we don't know how to grow onions. Sure, we can answer anything. Derby Startup, you don't think so. See, I don't think so either. But the reason why I'm asking is because I was at a park the other night, last night actually, I think, and blah, blah, blah. It's on the waterfront in Seattle, and then there's a steep forested hillside, and along that steep forested hillside, this plant has taken over. Not the bigger leaves, that's just an alder or whatever. That's not it. It's the majority of the plants that you're seeing, those little things. And anyway, the hillside is absolutely covered with it. And in the middle of that greenery of whatever of the hillside being covered with this particular thing, is a telephone pole with 2 signs on it, so you see it from no matter what direction. It says poison oak, poison oak, poison oak. And so I always thought that poison oak would kind of look like oak, and this did not. And so Shock coming in with hold on, where? Right, exactly, Derby Startup. I thought it was called poison oak because the leaves are reminiscent of oak leaves. That's what I thought too. But Shock is saying Google Lens says that is poison oak. And I do believe that Google Lens is probably right because, like I said, there was a huge, big old sign saying poison oak, poison oak. But I also found it hard to believe that it was poison oak because it literally is encroaching onto a walking path at the public pool at the Seattle Park on the beach. And it's just like, if the Parks Department knows enough that it knows that this really is poison oak, why aren't they trying to eradicate it or contain it more? Because it's encroaching, like, I literally, if you weren't paying attention, you'd walk right into it. And so I was like, this can't possibly be poison oak, is it? So I took pictures, and exactly, Chalk, the hills are alive with poison ivy. I mean oak. Yeah, that's exactly right. And if I have an iPhone, take a picture and ask for details. Actually, I've got an Android, and I just forgot to, and so I just thought it was giving us something to talk about, so I thought I'd talk about it. And poison ivy, oak, and sumac are 3 plants that carry the same poison, urushiol. Pretty sure that's not how you pronounce it, but that's what you said. And the no red color tint, but looks like poison oak. Okay. And let's see here. The sadistic nitrous oxide huffing dentist in Little Shop of Horrors, I've never seen that movie, is Oren Scrivello, DDS. He is the cruel, abusive boyfriend of Audrey, who ultimately meets his demise after getting locked inside his own gas-filled torture chair by Seymour Krelborn and fed to the bloodthirsty plant. Oh, all right. There you go. And have I had a lot of rain lately? It might have exploded like my squash. No, I gotta tell you, Chuck. Clearly, this infestation has been going on for years, and which is why I was so confused. I was like, this must be an old sign, was what I was thinking. Like, they must have taken care of the problem, because why wouldn't it the amount of poison oak that is on that hillside absolutely took more than 1 year to grow. I don't know anything about the life cycle of poison oak, but I can tell you with a fair amount of confidence that that was not a new stretch of land with that wasn't a new plant. That's a big old plant that's been there for a while. And right, exactly, Rick, perfect solution to that problem. Post a sign instead of eradicating it. I mean, I understand maybe like the steep hillside slope where nobody is walking. Fine, keep it up there. But maybe on occasion, like, see how close it's gotten to overwhelming the walking path, because it's encroaching upon the walking path. And quite honestly, if you weren't looking up at the hillside, and when I say looking up at the hillside, I really do mean looking up at the hillside. Not a lot of people look up. You're not going to know that that is poison oak. I thought it was actually some kind of wild rose. And the leaf edges are supposed to be different edges oak compared to the ivy, but both are very aggressive and invasive. I'd report it to the park system if you can. Darlene, they obviously know about it. They've got, like, when I say that they've got signs, they've got a telephone pole in the middle of the patch. I mean, it's not a telephone pole because it doesn't have telephone wires, but it's that material. A telephone pole in the middle of, with metal fabricated official, they look like street signs. You know how the signs on your streets are like, parking okay from 6 a.m. to 9:30 a.m., Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday only? You know, those kind of signs? It looks exactly like that, but instead, it says poison oak. So, they clearly know about it. And Andre, just get goats, they can eat it, and they can handle steep hills. Well, yeah, actually, I would think that if that's possible, why not do it? I might send a complaint to the city because I don't expect them to eradicate it, but it totally needs to be trimmed back. Yeah, I mean, it really, like, well, I mean, you can tell, I guess you can't really tell in this particular, picture, but this is a path. I'm on the walking path, and it's, you know, growing onto the walking path. and Rick, exactly, 3 or 4-year-old kids would not read a warning sign, or 2, right, exactly. And it's, I mean, it really is and it's right by the pool. That's the whole thing, is there's a pool down on the beach. I know, it seems weird to me too. Look, there's some water right there. Why don't we dig a hole and put water right here? There's a pool down on the beach, and there's obviously walking area around the pool, and this is smack dab right behind where the pool is, along the walking area. And trust me, people go to the pool a lot. So yeah, a Poison Oak Lane sign, maybe there's a road underneath the shrubbery. Yeah, it kind of looks like it. There's not, but with the street sign and the flippin' flirpin' telephone pole, it sure does. Let's see here. Lots of park people were let go, maybe checked less now. Yeah, I guess perhaps that is something they needed. They need eyes on the ground from citizens, as it were. I know that I had to do that with a park in Burien, literally just this week. On July 3rd, I was down. Was going to go feed the ducks at Arbor Lake Park. Turns out there aren't any ducks at Arbor Lake Park anymore. I don't know why. But I was walking around the lake and I noticed 2 huge poison hemlock plants that were like over 6 feet tall and like 3 feet wide. Full bloom. Only 2 of them though. And they're just, they're about to go to seed. There's going to be thousands of seeds from those 2 plants. And poison hemlock, in case you don't know, is poison. Not only is it poison if you eat it, but it's poison if you touch it. And it's really the last thing that you want in a park, pretty much. Not to mention, it is an invasive species, an invasive plant to Washington State. It's newly invasive. It's kind of a new thing in King County. They're just now in the last 5-10 years starting to see reports of it. It didn't used to be in King County at all, but it has moved here. And so they're trying to keep it as contained as possible. So anyway, I emailed the Burien Parks Department, and they were great. They emailed me, the city emailed me to know that they had gotten my email and that they were going to forward it to the proper person in the Parks Department. And then today, that person in the Parks Department emailed me and said, we're going out and getting those plants today. Thank you very much for telling us they existed. So at least Burien Park Department listens. But I have a feeling with a patch that big, I just have a feeling Seattle's just like, yeah, we already know about it. But I guess I will shoot an email out. It certainly can't hurt. Andre, I pointed out Arbor Lake to me, or did I remember it wrong? Honestly, Andre, I don't remember if I did, but it does strike me as something I would have showed you. It's the tiniest little lake. If you didn't know it was a lake, you would have called it a pond. And honestly though, Andre, I don't really remember. I truly don't remember if I took you by Arbor Lake, but it also sounds like something that I totally would have taken you by. So why don't we just say that I did? Okay. Let's see here. Hemlock is what did poor old Socrates. Yep, Socrates in. I know it's not Socrates. That's a Bill and Ted reference. Socrates, just so you know. And let's see here. Shock. Well, yeah, if the big black snake, you had a big honkin' black snake, and he was moving quick like one swift. Well, yeah, but if he's not that venomous snake that you had the sign for, then let him eat the moles. And let's see here. Andre, I love it. I remember going down a road near UC Santa Cruz, near a Lockheed site, and they had so many warning signs about mountain lions, deer with deer ticks with Lyme disease, anything to keep you away from that area. Yeah, that's exactly what that was. And let's see here. Exactly, Andre. Everything is moving to the Seattle area, even invasive trees. Exactly. And Darlene, if you're trying to clear out any poison ivy or oak, you better dress up completely, cover up well, wear gloves. And the best way to dispose is to bag up very tightly. Do not burn. Fumes from the oils can get in your lungs and be bad. Yes, that totally makes sense. And Shock is saying, we spray our poison ivy. If it got that big, I'd be paying someone to take care of it. Yes, yes, yes. And Shock, oh, you have copperheads, right? And they hang out down by the pond. Down by the pond. On the banks of the pond. Probably, right? Why don't we call... This is the kind of thing that I think about when I'm going to sleep. So I'm gonna tell you what I spent a lot of time last night thinking about. And I did. I spent way too much time thinking about this. Why do we call salt water, land that's adjacent to salt water, we call that the beach? But land that is adjacent to like a river or a pond, we call it a bank. Like, what's the difference between a bank and a beach? Like, why is one and not the other? This is what keeps me up at night. Fortunately, Kailio Ele never noticed those while we were walking. I don't know what I just said. Even though I just said it, I don't know what I just said. Shock. So, what is Kailio Ele? And let's see here. Many animals, particularly deer, goats, horses, and various bird species, eat poison oak without experiencing any adverse reactions. Because these animals are immune to urushiol, the oily resin that causes rashes in humans. They regularly browse the leaves, stems, and berries as part of their natural diet. Okay, let's see here. I didn't mean to keep you on that picture for so long, but it does seem like we are talking about poison oak. And let's see here. And Darlene saying that she's got a type of rattlesnake in the woods up north. A huge pine snake that isn't supposed to be venomous but can give you a nasty bite. Stay away. Yes. And Pinnell, we are told to report any hemlock seen here and never go near it. Let experts get rid of it. Yeah, we aren't told the same thing in King County. We are told don't go near it. We are told don't touch it. But we're also told, oh, if it's on your property, yeah, you need to get rid of it. We're not coming to get it. The county, the city, no, we're not touching it. It's on your property, so you need to deal with that. Be sure to wear gloves. Yeah, but they do like it. They do like to know that it exists. They just don't have any. And I know this because a few years ago, in fact, we talked about this on the stream, the difference between Queen Anne's lace and poison hemlock. A couple years ago, I noticed that my neighbor had a huge poison hemlock bush right next to their mailbox, and they had it for years. It kept coming back. And when I finally realized what it was, I reported it to the county, and the county was like, yeah, we're going to reach out to the homeowner. Thanks for letting us know where it was, but we're not touching it with the 10-foot pole. That's his job. And, let's see here. Oh yeah, Midnight Freakers Radio, good to see you. Thank you for coming in. And Trail Dust, you found your way back. You didn't get lost again. Good deal. And so, let's see here. You can have a bank without water. Let's see here. What do you call a bank on the beach? Well, I just call it part of the beach, right? And, you can have a bank without water. True. But the banks of the river, you don't really, it's like, oh, I'm fishing off the riverbank. Oh, I'm fishing off the river beach. Like, you don't really, the river beach, that just isn't what you say, right? But why not? And we call some swimming areas by some rivers beaches, maybe just because private area and it brings in customers. Okay, so you have a river where there are beaches. Okay. And beaches usually imply sand. Coast is a superset of beach. Right, but you don't call it the coast of a pond or the coast of a lake. I guess some lakes have beaches. Yeah, see, this is just where I go when I'm trying to fall asleep. And poison hemlock is highly toxic and typically fatal to most mammals and birds. However, some insect larvae like the poison hemlock moth caterpillar and certain swallowtail butterfly caterpillars feed on it safely. Some livestock can tolerate small amounts, but it remains dangerous. Got it. And a pale is a raised area of earth protecting a settlement, often with an associated ditch, hence beyond the pale. Oh, I never knew that. A bank is a stable slope. A beach is not usually strongly sloped. Okay. And Andre's saying, yes, beaches can absolutely have bridges. No, he's not saying beaches can absolutely have rivers. He's saying rivers can absolutely have beaches, often called river beaches or fluvial beaches. These sandy or pebbly shorelines from where form where the river's current slows down enough to drop and deposit sediment along the banks. And they call them beaches around the Great Lakes. Oh, do they? Okay, all right. Well, then I guess what kept me up at night was really just a bunch of nonsense last night. This is what we call lexical specificity. Like how there are supposed to be so many dozens of words for snow in certain languages. Okay. And Pinnell's just like, Great Lakes have beaches. Beach? Great Lakes have beaches. She didn't call me a beach. I put that part in. I lived in an area in Toronto called The Beaches. I would love to live in an area called The Beaches. And I would use that so ironically, or not ironically, I would use that double entendredly. I don't know if that's a word, but it is now. And okay, we also call the beach along the James River a beach, it being sandy. Okay. And Darlene's just like, I don't like leeches. We went into a river way up north and had my shoes off and pant legs rolled up, stepped out of the water and had a couple of leeches on me. Ick, and they were hard to get off, and then had pick bite sucking marks on my legs. Foot gross. Oh, yuck. Pink bite marks. I don't care if they were pick bite marks or pink bag. Gross. I don't know. Do we, I know leeches exist, but do they exist, do they exist everywhere? No, they don't exist everywhere. They have to be in water, generally. But do they have, beaches? Oh, God. All words are hard. Leeches. Do I have leeches in my area? I've never heard of anybody being exposed to a leech in the Puget Sound area. In Western Washington. Do we know? Does anybody know? Yeah, leeches are right, exactly. Aren't in all rivers or waterways. But does anybody know? Like, are leeches like just a Midwest thing? Or are they like endemic to the entire United States? And if I've just been lucky enough not to run into a leech and know anybody who's run into a leech, and yeah, I guess Andre is coming in with the news I really didn't want to hear. I don't know why I asked. Yes, there are leeches in Washington State, says Andre. He might not have said it like that, but that's how I'm reading it. They are commonly found in freshwater lakes, ponds, and slow-moving streams with muddy bottoms or plenty of vegetation. However, they are mostly harmless, opportunistic feeders and generally target fish, frogs, and waterfowl rather than humans. How about everybody that likes leeches raise their hands? Okay, I'm gonna sit on my hands right now, okay? I don't want any mistaken hand raisings. Is anybody raising their hand? All right, Rick, you like leeches. Good job, Rick. You're raising your hands. I'm going to assume that you're just joking with me. And, okay, what? Pinnell. Okay. Oh, you like leeches because they're great bait for walleye. Okay, valid. And Pinnell, I've definitely heard that they're good. They do have medicinal uses. I think there's anticoagulants and things that help somehow. But toes, I've never heard specifically that they were good for infected toes. Like what? Like a hangnail? Like, why would a toe be infected? But I have definitely heard, yeah, they suck out the stuff, basically. And so Darlene saying, Andre, we do have beaches. Actually, I think, Darlene, you're talking to me. Yeah, okay, fine. You guys have beaches. I get it. All along Lake Michigan, there's even beach volleyball courts, even a tiki bar here at Bradford Beach. Oh, okay. Rick, it might be good for a blender finger, but actually, as you guys can see, I actually just took my Band-Aid off and I just knocked it on the floor. But as you can see, look, that's not that bad for a 4th of July, almost had to go to the ER, blender injured finger. I think that looks like it's healing up pretty good. Yes, now we're talking about leech medicinal usages. Words are jarred, y'all. Yes. And Andre, yes, doctors, specifically plastic, reconstructive, and microsurgeons, rely on medicinal leeches to save failing skin grafts and reattached appendages. The FDA even approved them as medical devices. Leeches excel where modern technology fails. When doctors reattach a severed finger, ear, or nose, they can easily reconnect arteries to pump fresh blood in. However, reconnecting the tiny veins needed to drain stagnant blood is difficult. This causes pooling, venous congestion, which can kill the tissue. Neat. And then I guess the leeches help with that. And let's see here. Midnight Frequency Radio. They're cleaning the Hawaiian monk seal habitat at the Waikiki Aquarium. If you want to check it out after the stream. Oh, is that live? It's the live feed or something of what they're doing there at the aquarium. That's where Ha'ilona, that's where the monk seal that Lono wrote a song about is living now. And let's see here. Beaches for medicinal uses. Beaches would be a way less freaky thing to use for medicinal purposes than leeches. And let's see here. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. I think it is healing pretty well. I'm gonna after the stream. I'm gonna wash it and then put some more fancy medicine on it and then bandage it right back up because it was a deep cut and I don't really want to risk anything getting in there. And let's see here. Terry coming in with more medicinal situations. Medical leeches, primarily the European species Hirudo medicinalis, sure, are used in modern hirudotherapy. I don't know that word. To treat venous congestion in microsurgery and plastic surgery. They salvage reattached fingers, ears, and tissue flaps by removing stagnant blood and preventing clotting. See, I thought there was an anticoagulant there, which increases the success rate of reattachment from under 20 to over 50%. Gross. I mean, I'm super glad they figured this out, but gross. Just so you know, gross. And let's see here. Yeah. Now let's talk about something different. And now for something completely different. I don't know what, but let's see here. Oh, I know what. Check out this thing. I was at the park, and I forgot that the park that I was at had one of these. Oh, whoops. There we go. Oh, whoops. Hold on. Let's go. Come on. There we go. Have you heard about this? We've got some Norwegian sculptor dude back in the day, like a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. He decided that the Pacific Northwest would be a great place to install some of his troll-y artwork because he puts little wooden trolls in various forested situations. And Lincoln Park in Seattle was one of those places, and that's where I was last night. And that's the little big sculpture. It's a very big sculpture. It's like probably about, 15 feet tall. And it's Brun Idun is this one. And that's what she looks like. And I like this one because the troll has little feetsies, right? And the little feetsies, well, they're big feetsies. The big feetsies, they have toenails, right? And so the sign about this troll says that the artist wants you to interact. Don't deface or vandalize the artwork, but definitely interact with it. And so a bunch of people, because this is on the beach, right? A bunch of people may put put seashells on all of the little toenails. Well, they're big toenails, but whatever. So the little toes look like they've got the seashell. They're painted. They're little painted white toenails. And I thought that was super cute. So I took a picture. And then that's the little QR code that you can think. But there's the little pretty thing. I come up to about her elbow. So that is totally like a really big, I come up to about her elbow. I mean, it's a huge sculpture. And I thought it was neat. So there you go. And speaking of parks, do your guys' parks have this? Do your guys' parks have a water fountain for the dogs? My parks have a water fountain for the dogs. And I thought that was really sweet. So I'm pretty sure the human has to work it, but yeah, there's a little water fountain for the dogs. And Andre's like, yeah, we've got those in California. I'm not surprised you've got those in California. We probably got the idea from California. But I thought it was cute because I had never seen that before. So, yep. So there you go. And I agree, Andre, that troll is way cuter than the Fremont troll. I don't think the Fremont troll is very nice to look at, frankly. And let's see here. Terry in Scotland says, oh, right. Terry in Scotland talks, now we're talking about something even less gross than leeches. Maggot debridement therapy, MDT, involves applying live, sterile, medicinal maggots to clean non-healing wounds by consuming dead tissue and bacteria. Regulated as a medical device by the FDA since 2004, these larvae, typically from the green bottle fly, are bred in controlled laboratory settings to ensure they are germ-free and incapable of turning into flies. But that is true. Maggots actually do help to keep infection down. It just seems so ironic, doesn't it, though? And, yep, there's a couple of water fountains around, even dog parks with water fountains. All right. Well, I thought it was just a neat Seattle thing, but apparently it's just a neat dog thing, and everybody's got those. Whatever. All right, so let's see here. Yeah, Andre, you have more dogs than kids in the city of San Francisco. That doesn't surprise me. And yes, totally. Yeah, you use maggots for wound treatment in outdoor survival cases. Yeah, that's totally. Oftentimes the maggots are helpful when you're stranded for a while. And see, Honda, I thought it was a fountain for short people. Well, actually, it kind of is. There's 3 levels. There's a grown-up fountain, a short person fountain, and a dog fountain. There's 3 fountains in one. I mean, I'm going to assume that the short person fountain was probably for kids. But yeah, there's a short person fountain, a tall person fountain, and a dog fountain. Yeah, and Terry, you are you are definitely pushing the limits, but I don't think you're going to hit it today. Because we've only got 3 minutes left, which means it is time to wrap it up. So I want to thank everybody for hanging out tonight. I want to thank everybody for subbing or resubbing. Definitely want to thank Andre for gifting the subs. I want to thank everybody who threw down some biddies. Super stoked that we could hang out today. However, I do want to let you guys know, I've thought about this for a little while, been thinking about it for a couple weeks, and I think I'm going to take the rest of July off. Since the stroke, there's just been a lot of stuff that I kind of just need to deal with. Let's see here. Darlene, did I see your post about the naughty chipmunk? No. Hold on. We're not going to wrap it up. Darlene, tell me about the naughty chipmunk. And yeah, I saw it sort of. Andre, about eating the leeches. So, all right, I'll go up. Oh, wait. Okay, Darlene says, I had a good laugh about a naughty chipmunk here. He got into my peppers. My jalapenos ate one, and I could tell it wasn't a pleasant experience. The ground was all scratched up and leaves torn off the plant. I don't think he'll be around for a while. I haven't seen hide nor hair of the little bugger. Oh, my gosh. That is hysterical, Darlene. I totally missed that. That is funny. That, yeah, serves you right, you little chipmunk. And okay, Andre coming in with something I didn't really want to know. I have a hard enough time with the idea that people eat eels. But here we go. Yes, people do eat leeches. In some parts of the world, like China, large-bodied leeches are specifically farmed, raised, and consumed for their nutritional value and use in traditional medicine. Dried leeches can cost upwards of $180 per half a kilogram, so a pound. Leeches are also occasionally eaten as survival food in wilderness situations. Yeah, see, now, I'll tell you right now, y'all. Terry, take note. That post by Andre got me way closer to your goal than anything that you said. Oh. So yeah, back to the closing ceremonies, as it were. So there's there's not going to be any movie this Saturday or next Saturday. And let's pull up a calendar here. So yeah, I'm thinking, yeah, it'll probably be August 2nd. That will be the first day back online. That'll be a Sunday. So yeah. So Darlene is going to maybe try to do what Terry was trying to do. One of my daughters had a Vietnamese friend whose grandfather made eel soup, eyeballs and all. Well, Pinnell, I know lots of people eat bugs, and the fact of the matter is shrimp are nothing but sea bugs. So I really need to get over it. But the idea of eels and leeches, certainly not together, but just... And I know, Chuck, they say the eyes are supposed to be the best part. That's what they say. And you know what? Here's the deal. I will let them have the best part. How about that? So, yeah, so for the next couple weeks, looks like Shock might see if she can run a movie. So look for that. And hopefully, after a couple weeks, I'll have a better idea of what I'm going to be doing with my life. And isn't that the question we all ask ourselves, though? And perhaps we will see each other on Shock stream, Photo Luke stream, or maybe if Andy Bumatai is going to do a live stream, hint, hint, if you're watching, Andy, we'll see each other there. But until August 2nd, we will have to say goodbye. But like I said, hopefully we'll see each other soon. Okay, remember, August 2nd, I'll be back. I hope you'll be back too. Have a great rest of your week. And yeah,